Alright, welcome to week 4 of the Senna project. Premiered live every Sunday, 6:30 AM Sydney, Australia time. So watch the premiere, you see us in the chat, I'm in the chat with you. This is week 4. There is 4 hours and 20 minutes in this painting as it stands so far. And it's all, every single strokes in the first 3 videos. So I'm showing you every single thing, every minute, every stroke, every color mixing technique, everything's all in it. So this is the first time you just found this. Go have a look at the other ones too. Today we are going to hook in, and my plan is to get this helmet done as quickly as possible in this one session. So let's get stuck into it. Alright, so I'm going to block in these green part first. This green part. I've mixed up an opaque, I used opaque yellow and opaque white. A little bit of opaque white, and I only had transparent blue in it, but this, much like the yellow, much like red's, green's not going to cover real well. So we're going to see how we go. Hopefully it's done. I'll put a little bit more white than needed, and I've got a more transparent version with less white in it to add on top. So I'm going to start with that. So I know I showed you me mixing up last time. Well, I'm not going to do that today. We're just explaining is good enough. And oh, that was the other thing. I'm actually going to, which I rarely do, I'm going to do some masking here, just rough masking. So you see these stripes, you got the white and the black pinstripe in the middle, and the yellow and the green, and the same down the bottom. I'm going to run some tape lines just with the normal tape, just roughly. Now in the end I'm going to do some decent ones, and I'll mask it again with the white and the black, but this gives me sort of a start with this green. So I'm safe here, so I sort of roughly doing it. I've got a pencil line here to follow. I'm safe because it's actually going to be white where I'm masking, so I can clean it up with the white mask. Yes, I want to do that. A little trick to do when you're doing stuff masking like this, save covering the whole lot, is you try to build a wall with the tape as it goes up, like so. If you fold it over, so what happens when I'm spraying here, the overspray hits and sort of bounces up, rather than using, if you stick it flat, the overspray goes past it and you'll get an edge of color going up there. So I don't want overspray green going on this. So if you build that sort of wall, that's what happens. But I've done that, and I'm a little bit worried it may sneak past. So I'm going to use 2-inch tape wall as well. Just thinking on the run here. It's impossible to get past that now. So you got that wall. So I do that all the time. I airbrushed last year, about this time last year it was. I airbrushed a motorbike, and it had, I had some stickers cut as a stencil, and done the same thing. So I had the vinyl mask down to spray the actual logo. Was it, what was it? Victory motorbike. And then I did this, put the tape on the side, so I didn't have to worry about the aerospray going past it. So that's good for that. Down here's all right. I've got plenty of room here to worry about. It was just here because there's going to be quite a bit of green getting slammed down. Here's fine because I've got room on this side. And I'll do that again as well down here when I do the black and the white. So now, if I didn't put in, every colour I put in the UVLS gloss for adhesion, then this could have peeled off, but you cannot get any of this off. Okay, so this green's going to be brighter than I need because it's I wanted extra white in it to try and make it cover better, and it's actually going to cover pretty well. It's good. And I'll use the transparent over the top to bring it to the colour I need. Oh, this is a really good colour actually. So make sure I don't lose the lines. Hope everyone's well. Well, I missed a couple of weeks here, but you guys that turn up to the premieres every week. I didn't even announce it. Christmas beat me. Just ran out of time. It's quite thick too, guys, because I was a bit worried about it being not covering, but it's covering like straight away, so that's good. I've got the right amount. Oh, I've got to act to the point where I've got to be careful that I don't lose some of these lines here. Oh, this is the visor there. I started to say in the intro there that I've said it for every week. I've got to pull my finger out. It's got to be a bit faster. It's turned into what was meant to be a nice relaxing painting, no time pressure. Then I decided to do it every single stroke, show you every single stroke. I didn't realise that it actually meant that I've got to turn it into a bit of a speed painting, albeit a very large speed painting, because it would never ever get finished. Oh, it will get finished. Yeah, I would be comfortably spend 30-40 hours on this. That's great. Spent 40 hours and did an hour a week, and that's too many videos. You'll all get bored of it before it's finished, and the worst thing is I'll have it sitting there finished and not be able to show anyone because I've got YouTube videos coming. Alright, that's actually really good. So it's the wrong colour, it's too bright. Well, that's alright. Now, oh man, that's it. I'll use that colour a little bit on the car itself, but on the car helmet. Got a lot of that colour there and a bit of a waste. Oh well. It's also going to have, I'm going to use white, maybe bluish white over the top for the visor. And a big black part here, so there's not that much at all here actually. Put some white reflections here. So yeah, so this is transparent, so it's going to get a bit stronger colour. If you remember, I did want the yellow and the green to be a little bit stronger than what it is in the photo, because it's a real iconic helmet. And even in the reference photo, it doesn't really stand out enough, which is why I made the helmet go all the way to the edge and not fade out. So I could put a Payne's grey over this as well if I want to desaturate the colour a little bit, like just straight Payne's grey rather than mix it up in the bottle, and just surface mix that shadow colour just to save a bit of time. You know, there's a bit of yellow here that I didn't do before, which maybe I won't even do. I've said this before, that like no one's looking at this. They're going to actually look at it more than before, because it's a little bit brighter, so that's what I want. I want it to really stand out like Senna's helmet. But one thing I'm very glad about, all those pencil lines are covered already, easy. You can see like that opaque colour was a bit too light before. Now I can just sort of bring it up just with the light pass of the transparent colour and get a bit of shape happening there. Alright, that's actually too easy. Alright, I'm going to use, I probably should mix up a green with white in it, but again I'm going to just do a bit of a shortcut as I try and find my squirter bottle to rinse it out. There it is. I'm just going to use straight white, and then I'll tint it with that colour I just used. Take the cap off. I was spraying with the safety cap on because it was just this big open spraying. So this is just the reflections of the garage lights and stuff. Actually, I can take this tape off now, because that's annoying me. I'll do that again later, and it's a little bit too sharp, especially for something that's this big. So maybe even I'll just freehand over the top. I don't know. I'll tape it and then I'll use a little bit of freehand just to fuzz that sharp edge off a bit. Just sort of guesstimating where this goes. There's no pencil lines with these reflections, so it doesn't matter. Too bright on purpose, and then just kill it off with that transparent green. And I'll probably, again, just a shortcut, some time. When I get to the visor, I think I'm just going to use straight white. So you guys, hope you turned up. It's sort of bad time. People go away this time of year, and so you might not be sitting there and getting up early or whenever to watch a YouTube video. But if you are there, I hope you had a good Christmas break and New Year's. I did. I'm on break from my day job, which is nice. It's also family time, so I didn't want to waste it with working on my second job. See, that's about as sharp as that stripe needs to be. And so that's way too sharp, but it's alright. Alright, there's a light up here. A few people have been posted in the community, which has been really cool to see. Michael McClung, he posted a picture of old school F1s from Watkins Glen, I think he said it was from, which was really cool. And people have been posting their pictures that they've airbrushed, the ones that they've done that I demoed on YouTube first and gave the downloads. Been cool. The only thing I miss them sometimes because I don't get notifications that someone has posted in there. I've got to manually check. I only get a notification when someone's replied to one that I've done. Right, or if I've replied to you, I found it, then I'll get a notification when you reply again. But anyway, all right, that was easy. Oh, I forgot to put the timer on. How long have we been going? 12 minutes. So I'll put the old school timer on. $50 to go. Roughly. Hopefully, it'd be good if I get it done in an hour. Then I'll turn into an hour and a half, and I'll do a bit more. All right, what was I up to? Transparent grey. Not grey, green even. Just to put that greenish tinge to it. The white, sort of a little bit bluish on top of the green. It's transparent. Just makes it blend in a bit nicer. I'm not worried about the overspray going up there. I've got control there. I'm working lightly anyway because I've got about a centimetre or more, centimetre and a half of white and then black. All right, which I think I'm up to doing. Indeed I am. All right, so I'm going to run the tape again for that. It actually looks alright. Just checked on the monitor. It looks alright. It just, for me, it just looks. It looks a bit unnatural, a bit too sharp. make sure it's drying, but I'll run this one first. Again, my pencil lines are all wobbly and a little bit haphazard, so a little bit of a guesstimation. Alright, we'll build the wall with the 2-inch. It's ripped. So this is a massive time saver, I must say. Like I said, I will freehand on top, but if I was trying to be super careful and get a sharp line with the white or the black or the grey here. Why I keep calling green grey? Anyway. Much faster. These greens dry enough now. So again, if I didn't have the UVLS in that green, there's no way I could mask it so fast. Be interesting to see how it goes actually. It might, if it does peel at all, because it's fresh. The older stuff, the yellow that was there, has been sitting there for weeks. Nothing's going to get that up. And while I'm here, I might as well, because I'm going to use the white and just spray in there. Let that dry, then double mask. Or maybe I'll freehand. No, I'll mask it with the black too. That's that. Let's do this one. This sharpest edge down the bottom here was because I'd had the paper stencil, if you remember. What am I doing here? Okay, I haven't quite done that yellow in the right spot, so I'm just going to make it a little bit lower and come up. So the yellow should have been higher, and I can't be bothered. It sort of fades out here anyway, so we'll get away with it, but so that should have been up here, should have been half a centimetre higher. So, but there is in the right spot. So I can't remember ever doing this, to be honest, guys. I always just freehand, but I'll also always say whatever gets the job done. No right and wrong in the world. And this is the fastest way to do this section. Alright, so it goes a little bit off there, but it'll be right. It's where it all fades, so I can tidy it up later. Notice the whole theme about when I airbrush this, I'm not just freezing myself with perfection. Just fix it up later. Even like the face, I like it. At that scale, this big, like at this scale, it's like plenty of detail enough, but at this scale, it probably deserves to have like sharper features and even the pores of the skin and stuff, but I'm not doing that. The feature, what I want you to be able to look back at the whole artwork at one thing, and that'll be enough. But actually this sort of size face probably should have a little bit more texture and detail in it. So depending on which way the tape's going, sometimes like here, I sort of will want it because it's bending that way. It's easy to flatten down. So you've got to sort of really manipulate it. You can even put a bit of tape on the back just to make sure that it wants to stay upright. But here, it naturally wants to lift up because it's curving up this way. So it's very easy to do. I'll just put a bit there to not too far forward, and I don't even need the 2-inch there because that's fine. All right, white. I'll build this white up a little bit slowly because it's not going to cover first go. So I just flood it. Not the ideal thing to do. I sort of get tempted to really pour it on to get it covered first go, but in the end it's actually a slower way of doing it. Three light coats is better than one flooded coat. Keep an eye on this because it doesn't matter. I'm just thinking I could, because the fade goes into the white here, but I can just put that on the top after. So I'll just paint it all solid now and I'll do the fade of the helmet after. Definitely is maybe a little bit too fat there. It can get skinnier here, and this is the correct one, but like I said, I was trying to adjust it because I didn't have enough yellow. So we'll see. Maybe I'll cheat a bit and bring that black. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Maybe bring the black down a little bit. And I'll do that part of the helmet. I don't feel like a very talkative mood today. I've been talking all right so far, but there we go. 2 coats just about did it. Definitely good enough. Sitting on freehand over top of that as well. It doesn't need to be fully covered, it just needs some white on it and have an edge. Okay. Done. Yeah, see, that really stands out too much there, so I think I'll definitely drop that lower. But that's the right thickness, and you see how it gets fatter. That was me bringing that one down white into the yellow because I didn't have enough yellow there before. There you go, nothing peeling on the green. It was fresh. 100% it would peel if I didn't have the UVLS in it because that's what it's designed to do. Not peel, but to scratch off and stuff easy. Okay. What will I do now? I want to just tidy up this one last week, or a couple of weeks ago, the Marlborough there. Now I've got that colour of like a bluish white. I'm just going to freehand that and just sharpen the edge up a bit there. It's all under the visor, so not really seen. Just jumping into that whilst, just give that white a little bit more time to dry. Because I want to do a double mask again to do that black pinstripe in the centre. a bit of overspray that went too far on the yellow. And this is more realistic actual focal value. If I got the one-to-one flips that I got, it's actually quite blurry. So you need to keep an eye on that. It looks good in the camera, and on your little screens it looks okay, but in real life it looks a little bit unnaturally sharp, this part I'm talking about. Alright, that's better. And that would be dried enough now. Let's do another masking. I'm going to do the top half of that black line here first, because I'm using this as my gauge now, and if I do the bottom half first I can't see it because the tape's covering it. So that one's in the right spot. Here I can still see through my original paper template that I made and I sprayed through, so there was a sharp edge there. And now I'm using this as my visual guide to keep it about the same. Not perfect, but doesn't matter, just has to be good enough so it doesn't stand out as completely wrong, which I feel this part in the center here probably does a little bit. So this is the top part of the black pinstripe. Alright, that's good. Now I'll use that as my guide this way, and I've got the thickness of the stripe. Now I do have lining tape. If anyone's asking, like the lining tape, that type of one, flexi tape. I've got quite a few, all the different thicknesses, but I don't think that will stick as well onto the canvas, and it's not necessary. I'm going to freehand over the top of it anyway, so that's why I haven't done it for you guys that are wondering that. Same, this actually is reasonable, gets a little bit narrow there, but now that they're both done, that's going to have to stay, so I'm just going to have to ride with that. This one I've got the advantage I haven't done the black yet, but to change that now I'm going to have to spray one or the other, so I'm not going to do it. The green would be the one that I'd have to change if I was going to do it, but it's under the visor, no one's going to know. So let's just use, which one will I do? I'll do the top, same way as before. Just using this line here as my guide for the thickness, or for the gap. It's going to be out a little bit. It's a little bit thicker there. That's all right. Okay, that'll do. Now I'm going to use this one as my guide for that. So we've got a little pinstripe that way. Yeah, so this is just normal 3/4 inch masking tape. It has the potential to bleed underneath, like the paint can seep underneath, especially on a canvas, a textured canvas. which is another reason why you spray it with light coats. If you flood it, it gets wet and then it can run under. Two-inch to build my wall. Oh, made a mess of that. Alright. When you're sticking the glue side to the glue side, you get no second chances. As soon as it touches, it's stuck. And I'm doing that here because I only had a little bit of the wall from that yellow, only just like a few millimeters. So if I stick the 2-inch glue side to glue side, and that was a nice wall. Done. This one I could almost get away with not doing a wall, but I won't. I'll just maybe pull that one. Pull that one back a bit. Yeah, there you go, that's enough. I don't need to do that because I'll get nice and close, nice and light. It's not going to get past that wall there. Yeah, I've got a black there. I'm not sure if it was, I think it was just the opaque black, which will be fine. I haven't got a transparent one mixed up yet. So when I do this black pinstripe, so I'll start freehanding over the top with the white. I think that I'll use the white just to soften up that edge a bit, but first I'll just do a black base for this bottom area here that I'm doing. Then I'll freehand with the white, and then I'll have to clean it up with black and whatever, but you'll see all that. Sorry, just thinking out aloud. I don't always have the full plan in my head. I just know that trust myself that I've got the answer to wherever we get to. Like sometimes things don't quite work as you think they might. So that was just me thinking on the run there. Like I said, this is not my usual jam, masking up like this. Right, so black. Pretty sure this is opaque black because I haven't used transparent yet. So that's same colour's been sitting here for weeks, guys. Can't remember when the first one I started, so it'd be well over a month, and they still work beautifully. That's with 4021 reducer in it and UVLS clear. No drums at all. The same thing even with the blacks, these quite transparent. Well, it's not. I'm using the opaque black, but I'm spraying it lightly so we can see through it. Because I'm spraying dry, no wetness to it, so it doesn't seep under the paint, under the tape. There we go. While that's drying, I'll do this one. Now this is easy airbrushing. These are old school before the invention, or not invention, but before opaque inks got good, sort of how a lot of it was done, you know, with that frisket masking and scalpels and cutting out, just mask everything and just spray transparent colours inside. I remember when I was first going to learn airbrushing, I thought if they start doing that, I'm out of here. Not that there's anything wrong with it, I just knew that I didn't have the patience to do that. I've done one many years ago, again when I was learning. I did, actually I don't think I finished it, there you go. I did Mick Doohan, I'm a big fan of Mick Doohan, and I did it fairly small and primed panel, and was planning to do it all with frisket, and I did a lot of it, but I remember now I didn't finish it. More proof that I don't have the patience for such stuff. But I've got the patience for this. This is alright. It's necessary. With more, it's not necessary, it's more efficient, it's faster in this situation. Alright, easy. I won't mask it at all. One more mask for that bottom one. This one should be just about done now. Yep. So here ends up in the shadows and whatever. So that's fine. The visor actually goes through there, and so that's why it just fades off to nothing there. This one's there, I've got a freehand there. And you can see that's alright if you just look at the bottom half. That's reasonable. We've got a little bit thicker there. That's fine, but you can see it was way off there, so that's why I'm going to mask that one more time. We'll get that one right, and then that's done. Right, this would be the tricky. This before when I was saying that the tape's going to cover my guide. That's what's going to happen here. So I'm actually going to do it reverse for a second. This is going to be a temporary tape, so I've got a spot. So I'm using the gap of the black stripe here as my guide. Then I'll run another one next to it and then peel this one away. If that makes sense. So this is the one that's going to stay. Now I can just run that on that edge of that line I just made. Done. First one goes now. I'm going to use that to help pull the wall back a bit. Lovely. I'll put a 2 inches wall as well. Not that really it can't. I just feel a bit more comfortable with a little bit more, but like literally if you're spraying flat out here, it can't go past it. Overspray hits and goes up. But I feel more comfortable. We've got a little bit more of a wall. Then we'll start freehanding. How are we going for time? 38 minutes. Wow, it goes fast. Okay. You can see how much I was off with that white at the start. And here is right, and then I'll freehand this edge here. Second light coat, and then that white's covered. Lovely. Right, that's in my way. I was trying to freehand the rest of that, but when I'm doing a big straight area, I need to make contact, right, with my hand touching the page so I can keep a sort of steady line, and the tape was in the way. A lot of long swooping lines. See, I said it last week too, like sort of locking your arms and using your legs and your body to get those long swooping lines. Sort of when you're close, you're doing all the little ones and using your wrist, but okay, good. Now I'm gonna rinse the airbrush really well now. Actually, no, first I'm going to put a bit more black here, because I'm going to get to the freehand part. It annoys me how like too crisp it is. All right, how we going? We can see it all right, can't we? Yeah. Sorry, I didn't check the camera too much today. I hope I wasn't blocking it too much. No, it's alright. A lot of masking and stuff anyway, but it's amazing how quickly you can lose motivation. Like 4, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, no longer, weeks, because I had a head start. I got in front with the videos that I uploaded. It was actually a few weeks I hadn't touched it, and I lost motivation to start it up again. Alright, that's good. Alright, I'm going to get the white out now, and I'm going to just freehand lightly. And it's not about trying to cover that edge, it's still going to be there. But when you put a nice softer pass over the top, it just sort of gives it that slight fuzziness to it. Because if I try to completely cover that edge, I'll just end up wobbly all over and it'll look worse. I might as well have just freehanded it from the start. So it's like almost like an optical illusion. Right, and it's a bit awkward up here, but so it's going to look sharper than this one does. Oof, it'll be grey. Didn't rinse it out enough. I have to. Like, it's really important that I don't try to put like cover something, because like I said, it's just going to end up all wobbly and no good. So you guys might not even notice this on the screen. Just puts it, it's just enough. You can still clearly see that sharpness there. It just gives you that illusion of it just being a little bit softer than it. It's not that like, what's the word I'm looking for? Makes it look a little bit more natural. I feel like the super sharp masking, especially on this size, looks a little bit unnatural, and It just sort of takes that away a bit. So if I think about, I'm about 3 centimeters off the page, and I'm not painting right on the line, so 50% goes each way. I'm sort of painting just above, so I'm only getting like 1/4 of that overspray going on off past my mask line, if that makes sense. It gives me a little bit of grace if I'm wobbly, which I am, especially working up above my shoulders, and that's enough. Alright, now I'm just looking at the black, gone even a little bit higher. The higher you are, the less you see the wobble, the unsteady lines. About 5 centimeters. And again, that's all right. I'm happy with that. There's already a little bit of overspray there when I did this part, when it wasn't masked. So that's good. It actually started to create that already. A bit of a mistake here. So I'll freehand that little part. I'll bring the white down a bit. That's alright. All the reflections and stuff, it's all going to go in here and it'll be alright. Oops, a bit of overspray there. There we go. Alright, green done. The stripes done. I don't see, this is where I didn't have enough yellow before, so I'm going to have to really brighten this with the white, because the yellow's no way going to cover that dirty patch. And I'll just freehand it with the yellow, and that'll also help keep it a little bit more natural looking and bring the yellow up where I want it. Well, I've got to get moving. There we go, 47 minutes. I want to finish this helmet in this session, so there's a lot in here to do as well. So I feel like I'm on a little bit of cruise mode. There's a really good example of, like, I just went the white up to that mask line, and then I've got yellow, a bit of overspray going on each side, but there's still clearly that sharp edge there. I didn't lose that edge, so it was like all these transparent, like see-through bits, and it looks a little bit more natural, especially I'm standing back, it does. Here, not as much as I would like, but there's a lot of work going to go over the top with the visor, so I'm not worried about that right now. What I'm going to do now is move on to we'll go to the black or the blue. So what I might do, yes, all right, this is going to crazy cheat. Straight blue. I'm just going to put a straight blue colour in here, even, actually, while I've got the white, I'll just cover this little spray testing things. Oh, how about I rinse the airbrush out first? How about I rinse it out? I'm going to put just the wrong blue, just straight blue over there, and then I'm going to use the black, maybe even Payne's grey, and then create these shapes and stuff. probably Payne's Grey. So surface mix those shapes. I can really cut corners in there, it's not going to matter too much. No one's going to look, everyone's looking in the eyes. Starting to take shape though when you stand back and have a look with the whole helmet there, and it's exactly what I wanted. I wanted more yellow. I wanted to, and the green as well, like I want it to look like clearly Senna's helmet. So I'm happy with that. Alright, so the completely wrong blue. Just to have some blue down, you'll see what happens. This is going to be surface mixing. This is to save me mixing up another colour. Transparent blue. It's I can't remember, but I must have used it in the background colouring some of that stuff. That's what it would be. So it's got very thin, reduced, and it's got UVLS in it. Got to be careful not to make it too wet. It gets a bit patchy. That's how thin it is. But just to get that bluish colour down, because it's not really blue. It's shadow colour, and you can see here when I spray lightly where some of the Payne's Grey was there, and the overspray of it, that's sort of close to the colour that I actually want it, especially there. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn it into that colour. We're using white and Payne's Grey over top of this blue down, just to save me mixing up one. Make it faster, we're on the clock. Oh, so it goes there. Now you see throughout this whole thing of combination of liquid mixing the colours and surface mixing. Always do both. I'm not saying you always, I always do both. You don't have to, but I think it's the best combination. What I'll do first is white over the top. Get the tint right of the colour. It'll kill a lot of the blue already, because there's obviously two blues, too saturated. White will do that. It'll also get the tint right, the lightness and darkness of it. And then I'll go with the Payne's Grey transparent mix on top of that. A million ways you can do it. Like if you were not trying to rush it, you would mix these colours yourself. You liquid mix them first and combine like I did with the green. An opaque version, just a little bit under, like I did with the skin tone actually. Just a little bit too much white in it, just to help get it covered and whatever, and then use the transparent to get it up. But you wouldn't use the transparent blue like this is. This is pretty much straight blue. You would make a shadow version of the blue, so desaturate it. Okay, that'll do. Back to white. Start making some shapes with the white. You can put a little bit of hint of texture there. There's not much texture in it, to be honest. And I don't want to get too carried away because, like I said, that face is a little bit out of focus. So all of a sudden I've got these super sharp textures and the face is going to look wrong. So it's got to sort of match. It's all too clean at the moment, and that's what the Payne's Grey will dirty it up. That goes the wrong way. That cushion's about more like that. There we go. Oh, who's entering the Sparmax Iwata World International Airbrush Competition? Not me, 'cause I'm a judge. I'm very excited about that. What an opportunity. So I've actually got, because of my working with Iwata, that they Australia, they them guys nominated me, and so yeah, that was very humbled. Got some like put my name next to the airbrush rock stars of the world. Quite a few big names that are judges, and little old me as well. So that's really cool. I did enter last year, and I made the top 40 with one of my paintings, but I didn't have anything that had an airbrush much. I thought it was good enough. And I went, oh, this one that was done from a couple of years before, so it wasn't like I'd purposely painted a picture to use to enter it. But yeah, if you got anything, chuck it in. It's for every skill level. Doesn't matter, just put it in. This ends up really dark in here. I'm going to use the white to kill a lot of the blue. There's not much blue showing through this side. And if I try to just use the Payne's grey to make it, it might end up too dark. So I'm trying to work out these lines here. I think it goes here. Yes. That's the edge of that. Yeah, cool prizes this year. I heard last year, I'm sure it was last year, and they said they weren't going to do it another year. They're going to do it every second year. The competition I'm talking about. I was like, oh yeah, whatever. Now it's either has been 2 years, or I think they changed, because now this year it's Iwata / Sparmax, not just Sparmax, and there's different sort of prizes. There's more. There's some cash prizes and stuff too now. So I've got a feeling they changed their plans. Yeah. Anyway, I never really expected to win anything with mine. I was happy to get in the top 40. The ones that sort of really get noticed are the super photo real stuff, which I think I could do I could do. But yeah, they use that on the special paper and erase and scratch back the whole thing and that, and it's like, I don't know, that doesn't impress me that much. When it's fully done that, to me it's more, it's not really that much airbrushing. It's airbrushing to put some colour down, and all the creation's done with the erasers and stuff. Different. There's nothing wrong with using erasers. I know, like Rob Dread FX, he often uses erasers and stuff, but he uses them the right way, because he still does majority of his shape building with the airbrush. It's just knocking back here and there and making some minor adjustments, which is cool. It's a way to do it. But people that, you know, spray through stencils and then just erase everything away and spray through stencils, like, yeah. So anyway, they get more recognition than I knew. I didn't expect to make the top 40, to be honest. I'm leaving that because that's actually meant to be black. I'm just deciding whether I've killed enough of that blue off. Like, I've got to kill more off, obviously, with the Payne's grey, but we'll see. I'll leave it at that and we'll see what happens when we hit it with Payne's Grey. Again guys, this is not like there's no one way to do it. This is my cheating way to make it a bit faster. Now from memory, this Payne's Grey was not very good, was it? It was a bit weak, I found. Spray coming out. Maybe I thickened it up. I remember, I don't think I shook the bottle enough when I first got it. It was a little bit weak. No, this is alright. I must have fixed it up. I can cheat and use black in the real deep shadows if I need to, which I might need to because it's a little bit blue still. Into texture. Darken the crap out of it. A little bit of his the head sock that they put on, but I'm not going to do that. Alright, there's about an hour. There we go. Yeah, a bit over an hour going by my other one. Let's set it for another. I want to finish this helmet. We might go an hour and a half today. I'll set it for another 27 minutes. And we'll see how close I am. It'd be nice to do a little bit behind the car too, but I don't think that's going to happen. See, I can see now that I'm getting this down, I can see it's heading towards brown, even though it's really blue. There's a little bit brown, so I'm going to use a bit of skin tone in here, lightly as well. Again, it's just colour, surface mixing the colour, because that will neutralise the blue. It's still too blue. This, oh, that's an idea. The Payne's Grey is a little bit too blue, right? And it might have been because I didn't shake up the first time, but I've got the darker shadow brown here, which is Payne's Grey but a little bit more orange, which I was just about to say I'm going to put some orange in it because I'm seeing that. So this might be a better colour than Payne's Grey. Alright, it's definitely going to darken this part because there's got a lot of blue there. I'll just lightly dust over. You got enough? Oh, yes. That's working perfectly. Perfectly. Just lightly, because I want to make it's definitely in these lighter areas. There's definitely a lot of blue still there, but just not as much as my straight blue that I used. So this is when, if you were doing it yourself or something similar, if you haven't got the airbrush control, probably safer to mix up the colour rather than really softly work out this. Alright, so that's gone a little bit too brown. I'll switch. A little bit too brown, there's a bit too much white there. I'm looking at the hue, it's the right amount of blue's gone. It's not dark enough, so if I keep going with this, it's going to do too brown. You've got to have a really good understanding of how colours work with each other. to do surface mixing. A little bit too brown. I want one in between the straight Payne's grey and this. But I'm not going to mix up another colour, so I'll just do a combination of surface mixing them. If I don't get it perfect, it doesn't matter. It looks wrong when it hits the white. It looks right where it hits the blue. It's not going to work there. Alright. Switch back to Payne's grey here. Probably shortcutting this with black is really going to save the day. I'll do that when I start doing the black around the edge here. Someone did ask me about how I was going to go about this blue part with the colours. I can't remember who asked me. And I told them a completely different way than what I'm doing. So, again, plans always change. I haven't got that sort of shape right there, but I think it's a bit more like that. Too blue, even with Payne's grey. I think I'll put a little bit more blue back on that. A little bit of orange, not orange, a little bit of orange brown skin tone. A bit blue there. That should have probably had a bit of white first. Oh, I can definitely see that. Advantage of cycling feed, guys, how quickly I'm just swapping through colours. I'm a bit quiet as I'm talking my way through it. What was I going to do? I'm going to do the brown. Quite heavy in here. Yeah, that's looking pretty cool. I want to put a little bit of white, recreate the highlights, touch of blue over top of that white. And then I'll switch to black. being very careful not to do it too sharp here, because like I said before about making the face look too out of focus, the details in the face. If I make this too in focus, it's got to sort of match. Sort of hard to explain all the things that's going through my head when I'm surface mixing like this. Like how it's even using the opaque white transparently and what sort of colour that does, and when where I'm using it. Like here I killed that little bit of the brown. It was a little bit too brown there. Really lightly here because I like the colour, but it was just a little bit too dark, so just lightening it a little bit so it doesn't even look anything like white there because I sprayed that so lightly, but it just brought it forward a bit. And still the brownness and the blueness showed through. So yeah, I don't want to, I'm sort of worried about over talking stuff that might throw yous. But lots of stuff going through my head as I move and sculpt this colour. To the point where I thought I was going to have to use black, and I don't know if I have to now. I don't think I will. We'll see. We'll get a new perspective on it when I frame it with the black rubber around it. Blue. In the midst of rinsing out the airbrush, I forgot what I was planning to do next. This blue's so strong, like too powerful blue. I've got to be really lightly careful with it. That's enough. All right, that'll do. I'm going to start I'm going to get the black out now and frame it with that rubber, and then I'll probably continue on and do all the black parts of the helmet that's left, highlight that, and hopefully we're done. Hopefully we're done without it being too long. An hour 12. See, already I was like, what did I say I was going to do? Black, opaque black. Really, it's the first time using the chair. I've been on my feet a lot today. Big areas. I want to sharpen that up a bit. This is definitely unusual for me. Where's my tape gone? Ooh, lost it. I've got a new one here. Right, very light pass. I just wanted to sharpen this front edge where it frames a face. What's tricky is because they're so long, sweepy stuff, but there you go, and it doesn't look too wrong because I did it really lightly and put that edge. It's like the reverse of what I did there when I airbrush over the top, because there's already sort of that fuzziness of the first freehand part, and that just gave it a little bit of sharpness there, so that's good. I like that. This is the part, I haven't had this for a long time, but you know what went through my head just now? It's like, oh, if Steve Lee watches this, what's he going to think? Is he, Rob, he's here 80% of the time. Dread Effects, what's he going to think? Oh, he's sitting there thinking he would do it this way, and that's no good, and self-doubt, mate. Self-doubt going through my head, all these, like, now they're beautiful people and they're not going to criticise me at all, but in my head I'm criticising myself using their voices. And also I used to do that a lot. This is way before YouTube and other people that did, just people that I knew that taught me, and or other students around, and like I always used to have their voices running in my head. Not a good thing. Let me know in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. Was it just me being a weirdo? Oh man, that was such a difference making that, sharpening that bit, and it's not too sharp. That's here is still too sharp. That's not, even though I use the same, they're actually, technically they are. I didn't record one day. I was all set up, and the neighbours started to do a party, and I could hear the music. They were not too loud, but the microphone was picking up the music. And was like, well, maybe I'll get copyright striked, or or whatever they do. They're very big. YouTube's very big on the copyright stuff with the music, especially. And they won't ban me, but if you get like 3 strikes, you're out forever. And you can't even like start a new channel. It's crazy. They're very big on it. So I didn't record that day, and now I've got a new microphone. As you see, I've got a little sucker Christmas present, which is still got the original one, but this plugs into the other one. And I hope it's a little bit better, more direct, doesn't pick up the background noise as much. I only say that because I can very lightly hear other neighbours starting to play music. And when you see when you frame it, like how that looked dark enough, now it doesn't look dark enough. So I'm just going to cheat, use the black really lightly. That'll work. There's enough colour showing through that it'll. Well, unfortunately, I can tell already that I'm not going to finish his helmet today. I think an hour and a half is a good absolute max. I have people saying, "Oh, I was so excited, it went longer, and I want to do it for 2 hours." But use myself as a guide. I'm like watching the clock when I'm watching the premiere with you guys. It's like, yeah, hour and a half long enough, I think. It's taking shape though. I'm really happy with how it's starting to look. It sounds silly because I've got the full reference here, so but I can picture like the whole thing standing back and go, wow. Like, I'm really excited for this one. Like I said in earlier weeks, it was a artwork I wanted to do for so long. So it was good that the YouTube, it sort of led me to, oh, that's a good idea, and finally get to do artwork that I've been planning forever. I can hear next door's neighbour's music. I hope you can't. I hope it's low enough that it's not a problem. If it is, maybe I'll have to try and edit it out. Well, good test of the dogs, if we can hear that with the new mic. I think I'm going to still hear it. It's not it's still omnidirectional. It still goes out in there, but it's close to me. It shouldn't pick it up as much. I said that I'll make contact to get those even ones. I'm worried because if I've got a dirty hand and rub my hand across his face, I don't want to have to repair it. I'm not touching there. Now, again, framed to blue. Crazy. I wish we could, YouTube would let us put some music, like background music, because they've got Fleetwood Mac going in the back next door. It sounds good. Either way, I'm definitely not going to do a double session today. I'm 7 minutes to go till it's an hour and a half, and just I'm a little bit worried about having to do major editing to get rid of the background music. Yeah, so next week we'll just about to say definitely finish the helmet, but we won't be definite. But I'll concentrate. There's a lot of work in the visor there. Still, there's a lot of reflections and stuff, tinting off, overspray on the background, tidy that back up, etc. Yeah, just what popped in my head there when I said that, like, yeah, it wouldn't have been so much easier to mask it. Maybe, yes, I wouldn't have to, but again, I do it all on the run. Like, I'm not trying to get everything perfect. I think a lot of the time people, like, maybe it makes sense. I could have finished the background, masked it all off, but I'd just rather just start painting. And like I was a bit worried about, yeah, like those parts looking unnatural. That can sort of happen. Like, it would have been good here because really blurry background and then the sharper foreground. But Anyway, it's an option, there's no right or wrong. Could have, yes. But then again, like I ran the tape and I thought, because that was the most efficient way to do that part, to mask those edges, alright? But masking all this, you know, using application tape or whatever, and scalpel, because all these little nooks and crannies, it doesn't feel as efficient to me. This was just nice swooping lines that didn't take me that long to do. So all that stuff sort of enters in my head. If I had a perfectly cut out circle and they're perfectly sized for here, then this part would be much easier too, much faster, but the time for me to stop and cut out that perfect circle, spray it down, and then sort of freehand over it so it looked a little bit cleaner, a little bit more natural, would have been longer than it took me to do that bit. Okay, back to the rubber. What am I doing? Getting carried away. I've got to do the background again here. I've got these pencil lines, you can't see them there, but I can see them. Alright, here we go. 3 more minutes by that. Let me just lock in this rubber. Maybe I'll get the white out and highlight it rather than mix. I'm not going to mix up a grey. Although, is that a grey? What's that one? Look, a squirrel. Stop, start, stop, start. I don't even know what that colour is. It's not grey. Yeah, so I'm just going to use white to highlight it and then fog it off. Alright, so I'll put some highlights and then add, just looking at the rubber now. Next week we'll do the black shiny part of the helmet and the visor all under here. Quite a bit to do still on the helmet. We've done pretty well today though. Well, I think. So this will blue shift, definitely white over black, but I'll just tint it either with, I think I'll just use the black will be enough, and that'll work all right. Bit of a highlight there. On the edge of that rubber. This white's quite thick, it's not spraying as well as otherwise could. That's all right, but just there's a slight little skips and stuff. But there we go. Right, a little bit black, and then we'll call it today. Just dust over that. Oh, that's beautiful. It's beautiful colour. Black green, remember, really. It was very dark green. Blue. It's just that greenish colour is enough for the reflection of the highlight of that soft rubber. So the colour works out alright. Don't worry about the blue shift. I'll just use it to my advantage. Alright, let's call it for today. What do you reckon, guys? Thank you everybody for being here. I'm going to move the camera back. Appreciate it as always. Thanks for putting up with a couple of week break for you guys in the premiere. If you're new, just spotted this one, go back, watch the old ones. We're getting there, we're making progress. Yeah, like, subscribe, share it around. Thank you once again, guys, and yeah, we'll see you next week, same time. Bye.